So today will be me, myself, Chin Lang, and also Cheryl will be walking you through on the account registration process to set up an account on Amazon US. All right, so let's get started so that we have more time for Q&A at the end. Okay, some important notice. I hope you've seen it just now. Yep. And for those of you who are new here, I see quite a number of new names. Very good. So we do also have recordings for the webinar. So if you miss any of the part, feel free to go check out our official YouTube playlist. And if you have not subscribed, do remember to subscribe that so that when we upload the video, you'll be able to see it in your feed. All right, and then also for the Q&A segment, it will only be available for the live attendees. So to be fair to all of you who actually share your time with us, it will not be available as a playback. All right, so last but not least, remember to put your question in the question box anytime. So we see a few questions on the registration list already. We extracted it and then we'll be sharing at the end of the webinar during the Q&A. So if your question is not there, please type it in because we may have missed it out if you just register like a few hours ago. Well, last but not least, the team we are in, the Amazon Seller Education team. And then the one you are watching right now and attending right now is the Amazon Live webinar. And we also have the Seller University guides and resources you can access through Seller Central and also on sell.amazon.sg. All right, and of course, the next part is that I will pass it over to Cheryl, who will be guiding you through on how you can set up your account and start selling on Amazon.
Thank you, Jin Liang. All right, so hi everyone, nice to meet you. This is my first time doing a live webinar and very glad to share with you a bit about account registration. So firstly, here's our content that we'll be covering today. We'll talk about how to start an account, how to register, identification, verification, in-person verification, and you also have our postcard address, your OTP, post-seller identity verification, and lastly, your seller performance review. So let's get into it. So if any of you, if you guys are watching this webinar today, I'm sure many of you are interested to start your own Amazon selling account. So the process is very simple. There's two main accounts that you can have. Firstly, we have the individual account where you pay 99 USD per item sold, or the professional account where you pay 40 USD per month. So select the Amazon selling plan that fits your business requirements. So as you can see in the prices, if you sell more than 40 items per month, you'll be spending the same as about the professional plan. So I'm sure that many of you all wish to sell more than 40 items a month. So in that case, I believe the professional account is also what we recommend to most of you. Additionally, with a professional account, you can get access to a lot of other features that you do not get with the individual selling plan. So this includes our product opportunity explorer, other tools like our sponsored brands, brand registry, or A+ content, which can really help you elevate your account and your business in Amazon. Now, moving on, here's a little short roadmap where you can see how the process to register your account is. We'll be covering every single individual steps, but you can take a quick screenshot of this page to get a run through of how the steps are like. Okay, moving on. So the first step will be to register your Amazon selling account. So when you click on register your Amazon selling account, the first page that you'll be brought to is the business information page. So in this page is where you actually select the country in which your business is located. And even so, for most of you guys, many of you will want to be selling into the North American market. So if you are based in the Southeast Asian countries like us here in Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, your business information that you input here should be that of your local Southeast Asian country business information. Also, when you select your business type, there's different types. It can be publicly owned, privately owned, or individual. So we actually do not need you to have a proper registered business in your local country. It is okay for you to just be an individual that just wants to start selling, and we cater to that too. So additionally, if you are an individual seller, for us to verify, we will ask you to put your first and last name instead of putting your business name in this page. So after your business information page and you go on to the next page, you'll be brought to the seller information page. So in this page is where you will input your personal details. So this page is very important as all your personal details that you input here, you will not be changed in the future and after moving on from this step. So really double check and make sure in this page that all of your content that you put on this page is accurate and is correct. So make sure you have no typos or any issues like maybe wrong date of birth, things like this. So if there are any issues and there are discrepancies, this can cause SPR from being triggered, which is for us to check if there are any errors also. So also, even if you are a business, we still want to know who is registering for the business. So we do need a name attached. So the representative for the business should be inputting their personal details here. So as I repeat again, remember here the content that the details that you are putting here are super important and you cannot change it afterwards. So be very careful and do check multiple times before you move on to the next step. Now, let's move on to our next page, which is our billing information. So for billing information, this is the credit card details where you'll be doing any form of payments towards Amazon. So one thing to know is that if you have a professional selling account, you will actually not be charged until you make your first active listing. So that means that, let's say if you make an account today, but you only start listing, let's say 8 months later, you only be charged 8 months later. So in the time in between, you can get access to all of our selling resources for completely free. Also, we understand that some of you sellers, you might not have your billing address to be the same as your residential address, but that is okay. In case if it's not the same, you can always add a new address. As you can see in the bottom, in the image, you can add a new address to ensure that it matches. Overall, this billing address is, you have to make sure that this billing address that's you're writing down in this credit card is the same as the billing address that you entered at the bank. If not, this account registration process can be unsuccessful. Now, moving on to your next step after you're done with your billing information will be your stores and product information. So you might not currently actually have a store name right now if you are just starting off or you do not have a business brand currently at your current stage. That is no problem. In this stage, you can just put a dummy store name for the time being, as this store name can always be changed afterwards once you are in Seller Central, and it can be more when you get your proper store name, and then you can afterwards insert it. So if you also do not, if you see the question, they'll ask you also things like your universal product codes for all your products, or are you a manufacturer or brand owner? So if you do not have a product currently, do not worry. For all of these questions, just put no, and then you don't have to worry about anything, and you can move on from this step. So now after you have to insert all these details, we are moving on to our seller identity verification. So this is a very important step for Amazon to know and understand who you are, and to make sure that there is a face more or less attached, or there's a person attached to this account also. So there are necessary documents that you must submit for account verification, mainly two documents: identity proof and also additional proof such as your bank or credit card statement that was issued within the past 180 days. So this page, I recommend all of you to really take a screenshot of all the specifications that you see below this list, as it is very important, and we have many requirements to ensure a smooth uh, verification process. So things like your images that you scan, make sure that they are high definition and the words are visible. Make sure your document images are high quality, colored, and unobstructed. If you're submitting your passport details, make sure you have your signature. We'll get into more details on that later. And your documents are in the supported languages. And also very important, make sure that your documents such as like your passport or driver's license are not expired. So all of these steps are for the Amazon account verification team to really verify your identity and make sure that the person attached, is correct. So repeat again, this step is very, very important. Many people who face issues are usually due to some issues in the document that they uploaded, which is inaccurate or is not of high quality enough. So do take note on this step. So if you upload a government issued identity document for verification, ensure that your full name on the document matches the full name that you previously did your registration. So this is to ensure us that the identity matches. And of course, ensure that they are high quality, colored, and unobstructed. Previously, I mentioned that one of the government documents that you can upload is your passport. So if you want to use passport as your identity proof, very important, do ensure that there is a signature. So if you are a Singaporean or a if you're a Singaporean or a Indonesian, do ensure that you submit both pages, which includes both your signature and your personal details. So in this Singapore passport sample image, you can see the signature is actually from a separate page from your personal details. So do ensure that you submit both pages when you register. So for this is applies the same as your Indonesian passport, where you can see the signature and the personal details are two separate pages. So I upload both of them. For other countries like Malaysia, Cambodia, your signature and personal details are all on the same page, so it should be simpler for you. So these are all common issues that sellers are facing because they perhaps only submitted their personal details and they forgot to submit their signature page. So do be careful on these details when you are submitting your passport for verification. So when you're uploading your bank statement, which is the second document for this verification process, make sure that you upload uh, make sure that the name and of the company or the point of contact mentioned on the statement matches the business name or point of contact name that you have provided previously during registration. So um, simply put, we have to ensure that whichever document that you submitted, the name matches previously to whoever who's registering the account for us to match it. If not, you can also face roadblocks when you apply this account. So so after actually you click next from this page, you'll be brought to this 48-hour page that will basically tell you where you have to wait about 2 working days for Amazon to get back to you on the outcome of your registration. So majority of sellers actually do pass it, but if you do not pass, there are actually two main messages that you can possibly see within these 2 days. So firstly, the first one at the top, the status one, which will be the SIV appeal rejection. So if you see any of these uh, messages, just ensure that you just follow the instruction, and then they also specify what is the issue that you face during your registration, and they'll advise you on what steps to take further. And also similarly for the other status message. So do not worry, the email that when they send to you will explain what is wrong, and so you can reply to the email for more information if you are unsure of anything or you require more support. So after you have overcome this step, and I'm sure many of you will likely not even face this step at all, you'll be brought your in-person verification. So in-person verification is a very simple step, and basically it is for us to verify your identity. So once your documents are successfully uploaded, you'll be prompted to choose whether to take a photo or record a video of your face. So option one, you'll be taking a photo, and option two, you'll be taking a video. So both methods are actually, the steps are all very very similar. So we recommend option one because likely I think for most of you guys it will be the simpler option because it's taking a video, but both options are perfectly fine to go with, and both also do require your government documents. So if you select option one, the instant identity verification, this one is the one where you take photo. So verify identity by taking a photo, and you go through the steps. You click on the checkbox and you go to next. Then if you select option two, go to video screening verification, and similarly click on the checkbox and you could go to next. For types of identity verification, just follow the prompts and you can start your identity check. So make sure in this place when you're doing your identity verification, especially for the video verification, we recommend you to do it in some place quiet with a good internet, so that it doesn't mess with your recording and it's not too messy and all your footage won't be too blurry. So these are very important. If not, you might have to do it again. So they'll ask you to go with your identity check, upload your ID, afterwards take a photo of your passport. Make sure the photo is clear, and it's like all your other documents, clear, HD, and in color. And afterwards, you take a photo of yourself. Yeah, so you position yourself in the middle of the screen, follow the prompts, just follow the instructions. So this step is quite straightforward. Similarly goes for the video verification. So afterwards, you'll be automatically directed to a thank you page once you're done, and then you can close the window. So for this step, like I previously mentioned, we recommend that you join the call if you're doing especially the video verification on a quiet place, and ensure that the internet is stable. And as long And you also advised to join on one of the more like Safari or Google Chrome, which have better support for the best experience. Similarly, if you require any translation during your call, you will be advised to bring an interpreter with you. So after this identity verification, Amazon will take about 2 days to review your case internally and reach out to you if there are anything they still require for you. So if everything is fine, everything is clear, all should be good, and you will have access to Seller Central after this step. So after you have access to Seller Central, feel free to use all the tools and resources. As I previously mentioned, you actually don't have to start paying anything yet until you have started your first listing. So feel free to explore Seller Central, check out our Seller University page where you can learn more selling resources, get access to the full list of resources we have in Seller University. And also, so after all of this, you may or may not receive the next step, which you are seeing here, which is the OTP step. However, there's some system backend that decides whether you need to do it. But if you do get it, it's a very simple step also, and you can just go through with it. Some of you might not get this step. Yeah. So when you're in this OTP step, basically Amazon will send you a physical mail or a letter which includes a key code inside. So through this, you will have to key into the registration portal. Basically, for this step is to check your address matches those in the records. So when you get the letter, just key in the key code, put it inside, and make sure that you key in correctly and do not key in any false OTP, as you only have 3 attempts to key in your correct OTP. If you have exhausted all 3 attempts, you may not be able to proceed registration, and it may be a bit troublesome for you to have to go through to get support to fix any issues you might face. But overall, this is a very simple step. Only some of you might face it. And once you're done with these steps, congratulations. Then for those applicable, you will have access to Seller Central. So after you have access to Seller Central, there are still some extra steps that we recommend you to do as soon as possible. In fact, more right after you register your account, which is the post-seller verification. In this step, there's actually you might see these 3 message boxes that pop up. Firstly is on deposit method, secondly is on tax information, and third is your emergency contact number. So we recommend you to address all of these 3 messages as soon as you can. So for deposit method, simply just need to insert a deposit method where you want, if Amazon, when you make money with Amazon, make sales with Amazon, this is where all the money will be credited to and sent towards. So this is the details. Make sure that you have the details be correct and check repeatedly to make sure that the details are those that you wish for it to be. So next is your emergency contacts. Since you are selling into the US market, emergency contact. Yeah. So for your emergency contact, actually, just simply put whichever contact you want it to be. For next is actually your tax identity information. This one is quite important. However, you don't have to worry too much if you are based in Southeast Asia. So for this step, actually, since you are selling into the US marketplace, Amazon needs to know if you are US citizens. So we know if you need to file your income tax. So if you are not a US citizen, actually there's not much to worry about. You just need to say that you are not, and then you'll be exempted from filing income tax. Of course, you still have to file taxes for your own country, but that is on the individual themselves and whichever countries or whichever laws that is applicable. So do remember that completing these 3 post-registration steps, these message boxes, are super important, as your listings actually would not be visible to shoppers online if you have not completed them. Only when you have completed them, you'll be ready to start selling on Amazon. So the next section we are talking about is actually your seller performance review. So in this step, actually, if after a few days of using Seller Central, you might get a notification from SPR. So do not worry, many sellers have received this notification, and it's actually a very small issue. Basically, you just have to click on reactivating your account. You might have your account temporarily restricted, and you just have to navigate through to reactivate your account. And if you see a notification alert that says your account has been deactivated and you click into the alert, you'll be redirected to this account health page. And when you click into it, you'll see a button that says view appeal, and then that's where they will task you to submit any documents for this SPR stage. So similarly for your documents for the SPR page, uh, you can submit your documents. They'll ask you to submit documents like your utility bill, things like your electric bills or your telephone bills. These are all possible documents that you can use for this SPR stage. And similarly, for all your documents that you send, make sure that they are of high quality and make sure that the information on it, especially the name and address, must match exactly with the name and address provided previously during your account registration. So, uh, this document also very importantly has to be issued within the past 90 days. And if it's too long ago, we will not accept it. So overall, I think this page is quite straightforward and you can just submit your documents. And afterwards, as you can see, sometimes your utility document may be under someone else's name, like your landlord, your parents, or your spouse names. No issue. As long as you have a justification, it is okay to submit a document that is in other people's names. Yeah. So here's just showing you all the steps that you can take to go through the different steps to tackle this SPR notification if you receive it. Yeah. So similarly, yeah, everything as I previously mentioned, if you want a successful review, make sure that they are all within 90 days and they are all of high quality and include all pages also. Yeah. You might be tasked to go for video verification, and so if you need a video verification, you can click the link to schedule a video interview within 7 days of receiving it. So this is very important. This call will be a very quick call between 1 to 5 minutes, and we recommend you to do it as soon as possible, as you only have 7 days to schedule the interview. And if you are unable to schedule an interview, it might render you ineligible to sell on Amazon. Yeah. So overall, that's all there is to it to registering your account in Amazon, uh, on Amazon Seller Central. So if you want to watch the workshop demo playback of the YouTube, where Ivan, our account manager, he will bring you the exact steps and he will go through the steps and the process on how to register your account. So just scan this QR code and you can go through the process. Yeah. And if that's all there is to it. I hope you have a smooth journey when you register your account in Amazon Seller Central, and happy selling.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. All right, thank you so much. Yep, do scan the QR code so you can watch Ivan going through the demo. All right, so that the next one I think we're going to share is some Seller University resources. Right, so you can see the guides that we have over here, some introduction. I think a lot of sellers in this call today are pretty new, right? And then choosing your first store and also the new seller incentive and also the introduction to the North American store. Right, so the QR code is over here. You can scan it. If not, it's actually the same code that you will receive in your follow-up email as well, right? So moving on to the next one. Right, so we do have some other webinars coming up. All right, so today I think this is the first webinar for December, and then December we know is usually a very short month. Most people will be out, and then so we only have about three webinar this December. All right, and then for the next one will be on listing optimization as well as the new policy on US skin lightening cream and also the 2025 FBA fee updates, which I would encourage all sellers or potential or aspiring seller to join in so that you can get the news updates on what is the upcoming fee changes, etc. And then the last but not least is all right, we are going on to the most exciting part, which is the live Q&A.